Hey everybody, today we're going to be taking these angel wings that I got on clearance from Michael's in this fall sign that I'm going to recycle and turn it into this beautiful Christmas decor. Okay, the first thing I did was I spray painted all the pieces a flat white, and then I went back in with some silver metallic spray paint and gave it a good sort of shiny, frosty, kind of cold, wintry foundation, because we're going to embellish the wings with some glitter. And I'm going to add this canvas board or canvas picture and use it as the base for the wording for the sign. I got those canvases a while ago from Michael's. I actually got some silver ones and some gold ones right after Christmas one year, and I just kept them in my stash because I knew I'd use them for something. So anyway, we're going to start on the wings. Like I said, we're going to use some glitter. So I have some really pretty icy blue glitter, some of this bowl filler, which looks like little ice crystals, some iridescent glitter, some diamond dust, which is like finely milled glass, and some silver glitter and white glitter. And then we're going to use this high gloss Mod Podge, but if you can't find that, you can always use the gloss Mod Podge from Dollar Tree. Also, we're going to use these little plastic containers from Dollar Tree that you can, mix things in. I have a tray that I'm recycling and some paint brushes. So let's get started. So I'm going to pour some of the Mod Podge in this little plastic container, and I'm going to add some glitter to it and sort of create sort of like a glitter paint, if you will. I stepped away to get some popsicle sticks because I usually use those to stir or mix paints and, craft liquids or whatever in the space. So I went and grabbed that so that I can mix the glitter in. So I'm going to add some silver glitter to this and some of the iridescent glitter and some of that white glitter and make a little, like I said, glitter paint. And that way, it makes it easy sometimes when you do it this way instead of sprinkling it on top of the Mod Podge, which I'm going to do as well. But if you want a quick way out, do it this way. The iridescent glitter, I got that at Hobby Lobby, and I used a coupon. I'm not a fan of the iridescent glitter, but in this project, I think it works out really nicely because it's going to look really cold and frosty and wintry. So that's why I'm using it. So I'm taking one of the wings and I'm going to paint some of the gloss Mod Podge on, and I'm going to apply it kind of thick so that I can get a lot of texture, because I want this to look like a wing, basically, mimic feathers or whatever. But I want the reflective aspect of the glitter, the sparkle as it hits the light. So I'm laying it on pretty thick, y'all. And now I'm going to take some of that iridescent glitter and sprinkle on top of this Mod Podge. I wish I had gotten a spoon, looking back on it, like a plastic spoon, because that would have made it a lot easier to sprinkle this. But we do what we do. So I'm going to use my fingers for this right now. And I'm just kind of going to layer it up and again try to get that texture added. And I'm just going back and forth with different shades of glitter and just building it up. And here I had an accident. All the glitter just fell out. That's why I hate using shaker tops on anything. And I left that in there because to let you know things happen when you're crafting. It is not always perfect and, cookie cutter like people try to make it seem like here on YouTube. Things happen and, you just go with the flow and, keep on trucking, if you will. So I just left it there. I was kind of mad because I had just bought that glitter and, it's all out on the plastic, workspace. So, it's like, I'll just do what I do. And I use the popsicle stick to kind of scoop it up and add it to the wing. And I'm going to take my hand and sort of press it into the Mod Podge. Gotta make it work for you, honey. Turn it into a happy accident, I guess. And there you see I'm pressing it into the Mod Podge. And then I just tapped off the excess, and I love how it looks already. It's all nice and frosty looking. So yeah, I'm just gonna scrape it all back in a pile and continue to apply until I get the whole thing covered. And what I want is sort of a, I guess, gradient effect. Again, with the texture, so it will, like I said, mimic the feathers, but still look, I guess ethereal and just sparkly or whatever to fit the season. So, yeah. And you can do whatever colors you want. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can match it to your decor, however you choose to do it. And I've seen these wings on Amazon. I know, like I said, I got these on clearance from Michael's. I'm not sure if they still have them like on their site. But you can get these off Etsy or Amazon, as a matter of fact, because you have people who actually cut these out and just sell the blanks or the wooden blanks like this. So I'll try to post a link below so that you can find some, if you want to create this. Or you could use a template and create it out of foam board or something. If you're more crafty than I, you might be able to get a pattern and cut one out. So yeah. And here I'm just kind of sprinkling some more. And as you can see, you can kind of see that gradient look to it. Now this is the second wing, and I'm going to apply the same technique to it. I don't know if you can tell, but I also added in some of the blue glitter because it's going to actually pick up the color of the wording that we're going to add to the sign here later. But I've mixed that in and it really picks the light up and kind of reflects, gives it, like I said, a sort of icy kind of ethereal look. And I'm also going to add some of that diamond dust and some of the bowl filler that looks like ice crystals. And you'll see it in the end result, of course, but I'm sprinkling all that in. And then again, I just took my hand and pressed everything down into the Mod Podge. And then I'm sprinkling the ice crystals and just pressing everything in. And this is super easy, simple DIY that, again, you can customize to your liking. And I initially wanted this to be made for my little diva space because that's the only room pretty much that has all the glam. My bedroom has a touch of it. My bathroom, my master bath does. But the diva space is totally glam. And I wanted something nice and festive in there, but I think I may use this as one of my door hangers, like a wreath or something. I'm not sure because it's a little bigger than I wanted it to be. Well, I mean, once I put it together, the scale was not the size that I needed it to be for the space I had in mind in the diva space. So again, it turned out beautifully, but I may have to use it in another space in the house. And I just love that reflective quality that glitter and the crystals and the diamond dust has. It looks so pretty. And that little subtle touch of the blue glitter, it's really pretty. And believe it or not, after I did all the covering of the wings, I still had almost a half a jar of that glitter left because I ended up pouring it back into the jar once I finished everything. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. Even though I spilled most of it out, I still was able to salvage some of it. So that was a good thing. And here I'm just touching up little spots that I've missed. And sort of finishing it up. And once I had them both covered, I just kind of set them aside to dry. Okay, here you can see I'm making the sign portion. I'm using that silver canvas and I'm applying the words. I cut these out on some glitter vinyl using my Cricut Maker. I know I probably could have used transfer tape, but by this not being completely flat, you know, it sort of gives when you press on it. It just didn't work good for me with the transfer tape, so I decided to do it by hand. So I'm using a ruler to kind of keep everything lined up as I lay them down. But if you're comfortable using that transfer tape on something like this, by all means do it that way. Or you could paint it on, you know, your words, however you want to do it. I just chose to do it by hand. And I chose a scripture, the prophecy from Isaiah. Oh gosh, I'll post what it is. But anyway, it's like, you know, and they will call him Emmanuel, because I wanted to have a religious saying or scripture in this or on this project. And I love how it looked, because, you know, when we make these signs for Christmas and stuff, it's always Santa stop here or Christmas trees for sale, snowballs for sale. I never see people actually doing a religious, you know, aspect. So I decided to do that and pay homage to it. The angel wing was inspired by Gabriel's message, obviously, you know, when Gabriel appeared to Mary and told her she was gonna give birth to the Son of God. So that's where the inspiration for all this comes from. And tell me, do you see people doing the religious thing? I don't know. But anyway, let me know. So here I'm using the E6000 to adhere everything down. I decided not to use hot glue to adhere it quickly, because hot glue sort of leaves, like, I don't know, it raises things up. You know, it's not flat to the surface, if you will. So what I did was I used the E6000. I laid it down flat, and I'm gonna weigh everything down with some books, and that way it'll dry flat to the board, if you will. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, I'm cleaning it up a little bit, and E6000 and spray paint don't mix. So it actually lifted up some of that spray paint or that silver color. So be mindful of that. Try not to be messy like I was. And you know, the thing about E6000 that I hate, besides the smell, oh gosh, is the fact that it oozes out of the tube when you squeeze it. Tell me if that happens to you if you're a user of E6000. But anyway, that frustrates me. I have to try to get the top on before it starts oozing in between uses. But anyway, I digress. So I'm using that to adhere it down, and you'll see me here in a minute add some books to weigh everything down. But I love how everything turned out in the end. I really love this project. And I'm just adding it where the back of the wing touches that board. And once everything dried, it held together really, really nicely. And I know I probably could have measured and all that stuff, but honey, I'm an impatient crafter. I want a quick result. So I just winged it. This is one of those projects that I just winged until oh gosh, and not trying to, no pun intended, but I just kind of went where it took me. And I love how it turned out. So yeah. And here are the books. And ironically, I was reading a book on angels. It was up here in the diva space, and it had some weight to it. So I didn't want to go downstairs and grab any other books. So I used these to weigh the wings down. And yeah, it worked out, like I said, nicely. And here I'm going to take a little bit of glue stick to tack down that little piece of W, because it just didn't want to stick for some reason to the canvas. But anyway, worked out pretty good. And you can go over the letters with Mod Podge if you want to seal them. But here it is, all finished and hanging. And I love how it looked. I just used a ribbon to hang it, but you can choose whatever. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.